Hello students. In today's lecture we are going to derive an expression for angular momentum and talk in terms of moment of inertia. So first of all, consider a rigid object which is rotating about an axis with some angular momentum, with angular speed omega. So let the angular speed be omega. Let the total number of particles be n. So in this diagram you can see that suppose there are total n number of particles in that object. An object is rotating about its axis with an angular speed omega. Now if you consider that the object is rotating about that axis, then the particles, the n number of particles inside that object perform uniform circular motion. So consider, suppose this is the first particle having mass m1 at a distance r1 from the axis, and similarly the second particle and the nth particle. So basically these are the particles having their distance from the axis, and the force acting F1 is equal to m1 a1. So basically you have to derive a relation between the angular momentum and the moment of inertia. First of all, the linear momentum is given as P, which is equal to the mass into velocity. Now, the angular momentum is equal to R cross P. Now, all these are the vector quantities. So, L is angular momentum, P is the linear momentum. You can write this as Rp sine of theta. Now, when you consider n number of particles having the given mass and all those things which I have told earlier. Now suppose that object rotates, and all particles also rotate with uniform circular motion. In such case, the angular speed omega is same for all the particles, whereas the linear speed is different. So first, as all of you know that v is equal to r omega, where omega is your angular speed, v is linear speed, and r is the distance of that object from the axis. So for the first particle, you can write v1 is equal to r1 omega, and omega is same for all the particles. Similarly, for second particle, you can write v2 is equal to r2 omega, and so on for the nth particle. Now, as you know, the momentum, now this was the first part. So coming over to the momentum is given as mass into velocity. So as v is r omega, you can write momentum as m r omega. So for the first particle, you can write m1 r1 omega. For the second particle, the momentum is m2 r2 omega, and so on. For the third particle, for the nth particle, momentum is mn rn omega. Now, as we have seen through the diagram, for a rigid body, all the angular momentums. Before moving on to that, we'll find the formula for angular momentum. So the angular momentum is r cross p. Now for the first particle, p1 is m1 r1 omega. So you will write r1 into m1 r1 omega. So for the first particle, the angular momentum is m1 r1 square omega. Similarly, for second particle, m2 r2 square omega, and so on for the other particles. Now, as the direction of angular momentum for all the particles, they have the same direction. So the magnitude of the angular momentum of the whole object, for that to find out that, we can just add on the angular momentum of each particle. Why? Because the direction of all the angular momentum is same. So the angular momentum of the whole body can be written as L1 plus L2 up to Ln. So you can write what was L1, it was m1 r1 square omega, then plus L2, that is m2 r2 square omega, and so on mn rn square omega. So from these you can take out omega as common, and other things you can write inside the bracket. So in the previous lecture, I've told you that m1 r1 square plus m2 r2 square up to mn rn square, this is the moment of inertia. So you can write the term inside the bracket as I. So the moment of inertia we are writing over here. So this formula gives you the relation between the angular momentum and the moment of inertia, that is L is equal to I omega. Now similarly we have to find the formula for torque also. Now consider that in that object the angular acceleration is given by alpha. So in the previous lecture I've given the relation between the linear acceleration and the angular acceleration. So linear acceleration is equal to r alpha. A is linear acceleration, alpha is angular acceleration. So if you consider the first particle, then the angular, you can write that relation as A1 is equal to R1 alpha. Similarly, A2 is equal to R2 alpha, and so on. For nth particle, An is equal to Rn alpha. Now, as you know that force is equal to mass into acceleration. So, substituting the relation between the angular acceleration and linear acceleration here, you can write F is equal to m r alpha. Now, for the first particle, F1 is m1 r1 alpha, and so on for the nth particle, mn rn alpha. Now, in case of a rotational motion, the analogous quantity for the force is known as torque, which you have learnt in 11th standard. So, the formula for torque, it is, first of all, torque is denoted by this alphabet, which is called tau. The formula for torque is R cross F, right? So, you can write what is F here, mr alpha. So, torque you can write as mr square alpha. Now, that is the magnitude of the torque. So, for the first particle, torque, that is tau 1, is m1 r1 square alpha, and similarly for the nth particle it is mn rn square alpha. Now, the rotation of the object is restricted to a single plane. So in this case also the direction of all the torque, or you can say the torque of all the particles, is same. So the resultant torque can be just obtained by adding the torque of all the particles. So the resultant torque of the object should be tau 1 plus tau 2 up to tau n. So you can write m1 r1 square plus m2 r2 square, and in this case also you can take the alpha common. Now, as you have seen earlier also, that this quantity inside the bracket is called as moment of inertia, so it is I alpha. So you can write that torque is equal to I into alpha. So this formula gives the relation between the torque and the moment of inertia. Now, if you compare tau is equal to I alpha with F is equal to ma, you can see that the I is replaced by m. So you can give this as the physical significance of moment of inertia. So basically these are the two formulas which are very important for you, and you should always remember that L is equal to I omega and tau is equal to I alpha.